It's been over 7 months since the nearly $3 trillion HEROES Act was passed by the Democratic-controlled House of Representatives, but only now is Congress finally close to a deal on a new COVID economic relief package. At $900 billion, the current bill being negotiated pales in comparison to the House bill from May, but if passed, it will certainly help those who need it most. Although the text of the final bill hasn't yet been released, we're now learning more details about what could be included. $600 direct-to-American payments, $300 per week in enhanced unemployment benefits, and more PPP funding for small businesses. The new bill comes as the country's unemployment rate trends even higher in the latest surge of coronavirus. The government's lack of action continues to hold everyday Americans hostage. Many have tried to survive for almost a year on that one $1,200 direct payment and the enhanced unemployment benefits, which expired over the summer. Evan Fowler is one of those Americans. He lost his job in March. He was struggling to make ends meet while also caring for his elderly mother. He emailed me about it, and I read his story on the program a few weeks ago, and subsequently his GoFundMe, which he started because people were asking to contribute, received a lot of support. It helped him and his mom afford their bare necessities, their rent, actually. It allowed them to stay in their apartment. Evan joins me now. Evan, thanks for coming to me. You are just one example of so many people who are suffering. Give us the short version of your story.
Hey, Art. Hey, Allie. I'm working live entertainment, so I take care of my mom is something that I've done, and I am aware that I needed to do it, and that's on me, and I've taken care of it. And then this year, they just took the jobs away. They took the jobs away, and they locked us in a box, and I got to keep her safe because we're both ill. So that's all well and good. Stay inside, be safe. We'll pay you to make sure you don't go off the cliff. And then they're just like, well, we're just gonna stop paying. Like, is the virus gone? No, the virus is still here.
Yeah, because your gigs are not back. The thing that stood out, the thing that caused so many of my viewers to respond to you was your discussions, not just about the fact that you weren't going to make your rent, which was true before that GoFundMe page. You had rationed your food. You had cut your grocery bill in half, and then you were going to cut it again.
Oh, yeah, big time. I mean, we got down to one meal a day that we were sharing. And then I realized that was only going to last for another week and a half. So I just started giving the meals to my mom, and then she would have the half a meal, and then I would just eat spoonfuls of peanut butter. And so I ate spoonfuls of peanut butter for 2 weeks. And I don't know if you know this, Allie, but you eat peanut butter for 2 weeks, bad things happen. It's not good on the body. It's bad. It hurts. And it's just, this year is just murderous. It's unreal. They literally seem to think that we should still have a little bit of that $1,200 left. Like, I use that to pay rent.
And let me spell that out. Cori Bush, who's just been elected from Missouri to Congress, she tweeted on December 16th, Republicans are going to act like the difference between $600 and $1,200 is no big deal. This is infuriating. I've been unhoused. I've lived paycheck to paycheck. The difference of $600 is having a room or sleeping in a car. $1,200 was already the compromise. Tell me what $600 meant to you.
I mean, what is the $600? I mean, the $600 a week meant that we could pay bills, we could get groceries and medicine and anything we need, because we're trapped and we can't go get anything. Everything has to be brought here. It has to be brought here at cost. It's $600 one-time payment. I don't even know what that is. Don't people in Canada get $2,000 a month? Like $600?
Yep.
The $600 a week was enough to carry us through the whole year. That's one of the worst parts about this, is realizing that this isn't just there's a virus and it can't be controlled. It's just, it is what it is. Nobody can help it. This is a decision. These are people, like, the suffering that we're all experiencing this year is a conscious decision by people who are like, it's probably not that much suffering, or we just don't care about it anyway, which is just gut-wrenching. In America, I can't really wrap my head around that logic, that anything would ever be more important than stopping Americans in mass from feeling the way my mom and I felt here. Over liability protections, is that the deal? Like, that's what this year has been? That's why since March we've just been starving. because of liability protections. What is happening?
Evan, how'd you feel? I mean, I got to say, I was amazed. People just emailed me and said they want to send you money, and they did. And I assume that was a substantially better lifeline than the government's going to offer you. How'd that feel? That people you didn't know gave you money they didn't maybe even have for themselves because they thought that you represented the injustice that is this country?
I mean, it's amazing. It's unbelievable, and it's unbelievably heartwarming that people will reach out and help, but it shouldn't be on them. It should never come down to the American people to save each other because there's a giant federal problem that needs to be dealt with. It's so crazy that it came down to them. But even with that, even with this amazing outpouring of generosity that we got, we all owe a $5,000 plus back rent to our apartments. Everybody who's put in that CDC form has this back payment that's like a huge bomb that's about to go off on the 1st of January. It was about to happen to us. And I was able to pay that off, which still just brings us back to even because the bills keep rolling in. So, even with this incredible generosity that I cannot thank people enough for, we're still heading straight towards the same position, and we'll be there very, very quickly if this stimulus falls apart. And even with the stimulus, they cut that in half too. So it's $300 a week. $300 a week times 4 is rent. And beyond that, I don't know. Peanut butter, I guess. It's insane. Like if you ask me what video game my life most resembles right now, I would tell you Pac-Man, because he's trapped in a house alone with ghosts and he just keeps eating because he doesn't want to think about it. Like, that's sad. That's a sad answer to that question, Allie. That's, excuse me. I don't understand how this is America. This is not the way that we were taught this country works, and it shouldn't come down to the American citizens to catch us. It's not a matter of, this is like people are running towards a cliff. You need to grab them before they go off it. Like, this is not a matter of just helping people out because maybe something bad will happen, but they'll probably figure it out. I get this sense that people with money or the people who have family just assume that everybody's got someone out there who will just help them, and they just have pride, or they just don't want to ask. And we don't. We don't. There's no one to turn to. It's here or it's on the street. Because we don't even have a car. We can't even sleep in the car because, when we're out of here, we're literally on the street. That's what I was saying with the GoFundMe. It was like, pass stimulus and I do raise more of this, I'm going to use all of it to get a used car so we at least have somewhere to sleep. But now they might not even pass the stimulus. We're just trying to pay the bills again. And there's no free market solution to this particular situation. This has to be a
you're
federal
right. There has to be, Evan, and you're right. Your story is the story of millions of Americans. Thank you for sharing it with us, and we will continue to follow you and your mom, and thank you for keeping her safe. Evan Fowler is a comedian and an event host who is out of work.